On the first video I installed the Java development kit, and on the second video we set up the Eclipse integrated development environment. Now we're to the point where we can actually install the Android development kit. And so to do this, we're going to have to look for it first. And I'm going to go ahead and open up the Internet Explorer here, and I'm going to navigate to just google.com, and we're going to do a search for it. And all I need to do is search for Android development kit. And you can see it's coming up here in my results. And what I'm going to look for is, this is the website that I want to look for, is the developer.android.com/SDK. And so that's where I want to go. And we're going to go ahead and look for the download. I've got, since I'm running this on a Windows platform, I've got Windows here. I've got the recommended .exe file, so this is going to be its own executable file. I'm going to go ahead and choose to download this one right now. I'll go ahead and click on it. And I'm going to go ahead and save the file, and I'll just save it to my desktop so it's easy to find. And you can see at the moment it's a little over 28 megabytes, so it's going to take a minute or two here for this to download. So now that it's downloaded, I'm going to go ahead and hit close here, and I'm going to go ahead and close the browser. You can see the installer executable file here. I'm going to go ahead and just double click it, and we're going to run through the installation. I'm going to go ahead and hit yes here, and let's go ahead and begin the installation. I'll go ahead and hit next, and it's going to go ahead and say that detect whether or not the Java SE development kit is installed, and it does say that it was found. That's part of the reason why we put in the first video the path files and so forth for the Java. So we're good to go on this. I'm going to go ahead and hit next now. And it says choose the installation location. You can see that it's going to be installed on the program files, Android, and then the Android SDK folder. I'll go ahead and hit next on this one. And I'm going to go ahead, it says select the start menu folder in which you would like to create the program shortcuts. And this is going to go ahead and just create this. I'm going to leave everything here default and just hit the install. And it's going to run through this installation. And we're going to go ahead now and hit next. And I've got the ability to start the SDK manager. I'm not going to do that at the moment. I'm actually just going to uncheck that and just hit finish. And we've got one part of it done. Now that I'm done with this, just so that I don't get confused, I'm just going to go ahead and move that up to the recycle bin so that I don't no longer see that. Now that we've got that set up, what I want to do next is I'm going to actually add another path variable into the Windows environmental variable. So I'm going to go ahead and navigate to the location first and then copy it. You can see there's the SDK manager that has been installed. Let's go to computer, and go to C drive, go into the program files, and then it installed in a folder called Android, and then the Android SDK. And what I want to look for is the tools folder, which is right here. I'm going to go ahead and double click on the tools folder, come up here to the top. I'm going to click in here to get this file path, and I'm just going to right click here and choose copy, and I want to copy this file path for the path environmental variable. So I've copied that. I'll go ahead and close that now. We'll go back to start. We're going to go ahead and right click on computer and go to properties, and then here on the left hand side where you see the advanced system settings, I'm going to go ahead and click on that and click on my environmental variables, and then we'll look for that path variable, which is right there, and we'll go ahead and hit edit. And at the very end, I'm going to use my right arrow to make sure that I'm all the way to the end. I'm going to add that semicolon to separate the path variables, and then paste that in there. I'm going to use Control V as in Victor to paste that back in there. And now we've added that in the path variable as well. I'm going to go ahead and hit OK, and OK, and OK, and close this one out. We are now almost done. We've got to do one more thing, and that's add the plugin here for the Eclipse. Now I'm going to run Eclipse because I'm running it on Windows 7. I need to run this as the administrator. So if you're running Vista or Windows 7, you're going to want to run this as the administrator, or even if you're doing Windows 8 now. But I'm going to go ahead and click on Run as Administrator. I'm going to go ahead and hit Yes. And it's going to go ahead and load up Eclipse. And I'm going to keep getting this unless I actually choose to use this as my default location, not to ask it again. So this is for my workspace, for my projects. I'm going to go ahead and leave that as default and just go ahead and hit OK. And now that Eclipse is up and running, I'm going to go ahead and go to the Help menu up here, and I'm going to choose Install New Software. And what we're going to do here where it says Work With is we're going to add a website. And so the website I'm going to add to this one is https:/, and then it's going to be the 2 forward slashes, and then it's going to be dl-ssl.google.com/android/eclipse. And I'll throw that here on the YouTube video that I've got, and on the lecture snippet site I'll throw that link in there so you can know exactly what it is. Go ahead and end it with a / on that one. I'm going to go ahead and choose add. It's going to ask me to give it a name. I'm just going to call it Android Development Kit. I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. And you'll see here it says pending. In just a moment here it'll go ahead and list it for us. And when it says developer tools, I'm going to go ahead and place a checkbox in there. I'm going to go ahead and hit next. And you can see these tools that are going to be installed. It says review the items to be installed. We're going to go ahead and hit next. And now what I need to do here is accept license agreements for this. And so if I'm going to go ahead and choose I accept, and you can read through those if you want to. I'm going to go through this one. This one now already says accept, as well as this one. So all three of them currently have the accept the terms and license agreement. So now I'll go ahead and hit finish. And if you get this warning about installing software that contains unsigned content, go ahead and hit OK. And now all I need to do is restart now. So I'll go ahead and hit restart now. And Eclipse will open back up. And when it restarts, it's going to ask you to configure your software development kits for Android. By default, the checkbox for the install the latest available version for the Android APIs is available. At the moment now, Ice Cream Sandwich is out. However, not all the devices support it, so it's going to be a good idea to kind of click this one here as well. Install Android 2.1, a version which is supported by 97% of the phones and tablets. So that's a pretty good idea to select that one. We can also go in, and I'll show you when we actually manage our software development kits, we can actually add on all the different other versions as well. So I'm going to go ahead and put that checkbox there, and I'm going to go ahead and hit next now. And I'm going to go ahead, and it's okay to send usage statistics to Google. That's fine. If you don't like that, you can choose no for here. However, I'm just going to go ahead and hit finish. And so now it's going to give me the option of the packages to choose. I'm going to go ahead and say to accept all. I want all of this. Choose install. And it's going to take a moment for it to download. After it downloads, you're going to see here that if you look here, it says done. 4 packages have been installed. So it's gone ahead and installed it. Now the moment of truth to see if I can actually start an Android application. I'm going to go ahead and go up to File. And I'm going to choose New. And I'm going to choose Project. And you should see, there it is, the Android folder in here. And I can start an Android project. I'll go ahead and hit next. And now it's going to ask me for the project name. So this is going to conclude the video on getting set up installing the Android development kit. Now in the next few videos we're going to actually start working with creating projects and so forth. So this concludes the video on installing the Android development kit. Make sure if you're using something like Windows 7 as your operating system that you install the JDK, you need to install the Eclipse, and then you need to install the Android development kit as well. And so this completes the video.